Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful concept from the book Good to Great that can absolutely revolutionize how you scale your business. We're talking about turning that scaling chaos into clarity and turning simple growth into real hard profit. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to walk through a really common problem that growing businesses face. Then we'll introduce the game-changing solution, show you exactly how to find it for your business, stress test it, and then finally put it to work so you can make way better decisions. All right, let's just dive right into our first section. And if you're running a company that's growing, this is probably going to hit pretty close to home. We're talking about the hidden dangers, the things that often come along for the ride when you start having some success. Now, this seems completely backward, right? Growth is supposed to be the goal. But as your revenue starts to climb, especially in that $3 to $30 million range, this sneaky enemy called complexity starts to creep in, and it can quietly, totally sabotage your success even while your sales numbers look fantastic. Does any of this feel familiar? I bet it does. You're working harder than you ever have before, your team is getting bigger, but for some reason, your profitability is just stuck in neutral. Or worse, it's actually going down. You're trying to sell more stuff to more people, but everything just feels messy and inefficient. This right here is the scaling trap. So, how in the world do you break free from this cycle? Well, the answer isn't about working even harder. It's about a really fundamental shift in your focus. It's about centering your entire company around one single, incredibly powerful metric. No, seriously, just for a second. Imagine having one single number, a North Star, that tells you instantly, at a glance, if you are scaling profitably, a number that actually guides every single major decision you have to make, from who you hire, to what you charge, to what products you develop. And this concept has a name. It's called your profit per X. It was inspired by Jim Collins's landmark book, Good to Great, where he called it the economic denominator. Think of it as the true underlying driver of your company's economic engine. Collins asked this one simple but really powerful question to some of the greatest companies out there. He forced them to find what truly drives their business. And it's all about radical focus. Not 5 metrics, not 3, just 1. Let's look at a real-world example to make this concrete. Back when banking was deregulated, Wells Fargo realized their old metric, profit per loan, was basically obsolete. So they shifted to profit per employee. That one change forced them to innovate. It led directly to pioneering ATMs and creating way more efficient branch models. It completely transformed their business, and you could argue it transformed the entire industry. Okay, so this is where it gets really exciting, because this isn't just some abstract theory for giant banks. Let's get super practical and figure out how you can find your very own X. And here is the secret. The absolute key to this whole thing is that your X is almost always tied directly to the biggest bottleneck in your business. So ask yourself, what's the one thing that truly limits your growth? The one resource that's the hardest or the most expensive to get more of? That's where you're going to find your X. Just think about it for a second. What truly caps your output? Is it the number of skilled techs you can actually hire and train? Is it the total number of hours your expensive machines can run in a day? Maybe it's the number of physical trucks you have on the road, or the number of doctors you have available to see patients. That constraint, that's your key. Now, finding it follows these 5 pretty clear steps. It all starts with really understanding your business model, then pinpointing that key constraint we just talked about. From there, you can brainstorm some ideas, and then, finally, select the one winning X that's going to drive your business forward. Okay, so let's say you've brainstormed a few potential X's for your company. How do you know for sure that you've landed on the right one? Well, it's time to put it to the test. You've got to walk your potential X through these 5 powerful questions. A truly great X isn't just some number on a spreadsheet. It actually simplifies the business. If you improve it, does your profit go up even more? Does it help you focus on the right customers? And this one is crucial. Can every single employee, from the front line to the back office, understand it instantly? And you can see right here just how different this X can be depending on your industry and its unique constraints. For a construction company, their biggest constraint is the crew, so they measure profit per crew per day. For a manufacturer, it's the machine, so they focus on profit per machine hour. See the pattern? Each one is tied directly back to that core bottleneck. Now, Finding your X, that is the first vital step. But the real magic, the actual transformation, that happens when you integrate it into the very DNA of your daily operations. Think about it. When you have this level of clarity, all those tough decisions, they basically become simple math. Should you hire more admin staff? Well, not until your crews hit their profit per crew per day target. Which customers should you fire? The ones that are absolutely destroying your profit per X. It gives you this objective, powerful lens for pretty much every strategic choice you have to make. And the best part is, you don't have to boil the ocean here. The best companies roll this out with a really focused 90-day plan. In the first month, you align the whole team around this new metric. In the second month, you start using it to make real decisions. And in the third month, you bake it right into your weekly and monthly scorecards so it becomes part of your operational rhythm. But be careful, because there are definitely some common traps here too. The single biggest mistake is picking 2 or 3 X's. That completely defeats the whole purpose of having radical focus. Another is choosing an X that isn't really tied to your biggest constraint. You have to stay disciplined. Pick one and stick with it. So here's the bottom line. Finding, measuring, and then relentlessly optimizing this one single metric, that is the key to scaling profitably and finally leaving all that chaos behind. It's really about simplifying in order to amplify your growth. And that leaves you with one really crucial question to think about for your own business. What is the X that will unlock your company's future?